Hello friends, my name is Phil. Welcome to my garage gym here in Thompson Station, Tennessee. It's a beautiful day out there, as you can see. I've been doing CrossFit since 2006. I've also been a coach for the last almost 10 years. I've got my level 2 as well. I think I've coached at 4 or 5 different boxes over the last 10 years. So this is my garage gym, so we'll walk through it. This has been kind of a build-up project for the last 10 years. I have had some of this equipment longer than that, mainly since when I first started in 2006. There wasn't a lot of equipment. I don't think Rogue Fitness was even around yet. So a lot of it was you kind of scrounged. You had to build yourself, and once you got something, you held on to it forever as well. So this space, and I'll show it to you, is also doubles as my daughter's dry land. As you can see, we both play hockey. But starting off here, this is the only place in the garage where you can actually go overhead. The garage ceiling is pretty low, so that does limit as far as how to do overhead with bars and plates. It's just barely tall enough to do a bar by itself. So starting off here though, we've got the Rogue barbell holder. That was a piece. There was a gym that closed down here a few years ago, and the guy didn't have anywhere to put it, so he just said, "Here, take it." So I did. That bar, I think we've had that for 12 years now. It's from Wright Equipment down in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Got quite a bit of stuff from Wright Rubber down there. They do have a second store, at least they used to. I'm sure they still do. But a few trips down there, really got to set this place up. So a lot of this stuff has been acquired, like I said, over the last 10, 12 years. Goodwill, Craigslist, family, friends, neighbors that are moving, gyms that are closing. I think there may be 1 or 2 pieces that I paid full price, including the Echo bike, and I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, here's the whiteboard. This is where everything gets posted. Obviously, today's rest day. Thank you. And then moving on, we've got the the dumbbells. Excuse me. Over the course of the last, I think this is all from 2020. I had a few of these before that, but what I started doing was when everything shut down, we weren't sure if we were going to be going back to any gyms or anything like that anytime soon. Basically, every payday I went down and I got another dumbbell. Some of it was from Play It Again Sports. Some of it may have been, I don't know, Walmart or something. But as you can see, we've got everything from 5s, right there, 5s, all the way up through 50s. There's a couple that aren't on the rack right now. They're elsewhere. And then I've got a few different kettlebells. There is a, let's see, that's the 70. There's the 53 back there. My kids put a kind of a funny face on it. I see you can see this. Anyway, they like to swing that and make the face look up at the sky. Then we've got the others that are, I think those are the half poods or something like that. So 70 or 36 pounds. One indispensable piece of gym equipment right there. And then of course, we've got the bikes that we used before we got the Echo. This is my daughter's equipment drying on the rack. She had practice last night, so it's probably still damp. Got a couple different fans, and what I did is I rigged these up so that they could be hung at different places in the garage, and you can hang them at about chest height. So when you stand up and you're sweating, it gets hot here in Tennessee. Then that air is hitting you right in the chest, but that's why they've got the cords on them, so you can hang them from different places in the garage. Back here we've got my original Plyo Box from around 2007. Like I said, a lot of this you used to build on your own, and the CrossFit Journal even used to have a couple of different articles, building your own home gym and what equipment you need. And now you can find, of course, directions to build boxes all over the place. This is another box that I was actually building here recently. Only problem was I cut the wood out wrong, and so it's 2 inches taller on each side. So instead of being a 20, 24, 30 box, it's a 22, 26, 32. So I'll fix that before I put it back together. Moving along here, this is a Craigslist find, the squat rack. As you can see, there's really not a lot of room for actual pull-ups. So a lot of the pull-ups here, there's no kipping in this house, basically because the squat rack won't take it. It's not bolted to the floor. It does have a sandbag holding down the back, and if you really want to get wild, you put a couple of the big 50-pound and 35-pound dumbbells on it to hold it in place. But this was a Craigslist find from a lady who said that she used it once and never wanted to use it again. Honestly, she was walking a little bit funny, so I'm wondering if she hurt her back or something. So, but that's all right. It was a good find. This is the party pail. This is where all the chalk is, because you know once you start the chalk, life's a party. Anyway, this is an original from 2006. This came out of one of the journal finds. But basically what this is a PVC pipe. You fill it with sand, heat it in the oven, and wrap it around a paint can, and it forms the circle. Then you tape it up, and then these are actually just roof rack straps, some Thule straps there. But those were my rings for, I would say, probably 10 years. And then I finally ponied up and got myself some real rings, and what I thought was going to happen is I thought those white ones were going to break, but they never did. On the back of the rack here, we've got a couple of belts. On this side, we've got a couple of more belts, and we've got all of the bands, number of different bands, and then all the speed ropes here. It's kind of a little mess right now, but that's okay. Then I got my hockey stuff behind there. If you're really good, you get to sit in the player of the game chair. Then, of course, the shop vac, which is indispensable. There's also a leaf blower that we use to blow this place out as well. So moving on, of course, we've got that bad boy right there. I can't tell you how many times people have been walking by on the street and say, "Hey, you do CrossFit here." It turns out there's 6 or 7 other families in the neighborhood that have their own home gym, or have built them over the last year and a half or so. So it's kind of nice to go outside and look down the street, and I can see neighbors working out in their driveway as well. All right, moving along, we got the garage fridge here. I don't typically stock any beer in this. It's all, Gatorades and Celsiuses, and really that's my favorite thing, the cold water after the workout. And this is where we keep the PVC pipes. This is a Home Depot. Grab a really long pipe. I think it was for $10, and cut it into 3 pieces. But then I would also say this is probably right here. This is probably, I'll lay it down on the floor so you can see it. That's probably the most expensive PVC pipe out there. It's a hockey stick that I broke, and I mean it works really well for any kind of PVC drills. All right, then we've got the 2 medicine balls, wall balls. We've got the little 12-pound slam ball. When my kids were little, I used to say, if you they'd ask for a toy, and I said, well, if you can break that slam ball, if you can hit the ground so hard you break it, I'll buy that toy. And never really had to buy anything. Anyway, this is the box it's got ab mats, it's got some perfect push-up rings in it. It's got a Frisbee. And then this is my measuring wheel, so I can go out on the street and measure distances. Now, interestingly enough, when they put the streetlights in, they're all roughly 100 yards apart, so it's actually pretty easy to figure that out. Got around 400 pounds. It's actually just a little bit over 400 pounds of weight. Got a wobble pad right there. If you ever want to try squatting on a wobble pad, boy, are you in for a treat. Let's see. Again, this is, my daughter uses this space for dryland, for hockey as well. So that's why we have 2 different floors. So I've got the synthetic ice, which is really just durable plastic. You can skate on it, but the nice thing is it also will take it'll absorb weight, it'll absorb hits. So I can actually use barbells on this, I can use dumbbells, as long as they're rubber coated. Don't use kettlebells on it because they'll go right through it, but the dumbbells and the barbells, they'll bounce, and it doesn't damage the plastic at all. And then, of course, over here, I've got the stall mats. The whole garage actually has stall mats, but as you can see, there's a big pile of stuff that's actually, there's 2 Christmas trees in there. So I lose a little bit of garage space, except for during Christmas. Those are not dirty. I'll put it out there right now. Those are not dirty. That's actually paint. My wife was doing a furniture refurbishing. She had a little cottage business going. And missed with the drop cloths, and so there's actually paint on them, but that's okay. Let's see. Here we've got I think this is the only thing that I paid full price for. This is the Echo. If you get one of these, I highly recommend getting the phone holder. That thing it's proved itself over and over and over. I love having that thing. As you can see, during the wintertime, we also have the Improvised Fan Shield. Basically, it's the blue painter's tape. Comes off really easily. You can actually put it on and take it off depending on how well that heater in the garage is working, or if the sun shines out and the place warms up. And then, of course, we have the garage sound system. It's just a little JBL 5 speaker, but this thing will throw the tunes. You can hear it all the way down the street. Up here, and again, this garage has been built out kind of piece by piece over time. A lot of it has been changed and modified to say, you know, I think this would work, and that, you know, I think this would be a good idea. And this is actually one of those things. So what I did when I was doing a lot of interval work on the bikes, I would put it up on this board, which is kind of sort of above the bike, but then I didn't have to look backwards all the way around to the whiteboard or even to this whiteboard. I could just look right up there. It just made it really easy to do. So moving on outside, of course, we've got, this is the lifting platform. This is where we can actually go overhead. And then I've also got the dot drill marks out there that you can see. Moving on out here, I don't know if you can see this very well, but where'd it go? There is the wall ball mark. That brick is 10 feet above the ground. It's actually 10 foot 2 inches. But that brick, if you hit that, you know you're hitting 10 feet. So that was one of those things that I put up there, and the wife found out, and she wasn't really happy about it, but that's okay. So here is the 50, the 200, the 400, and the 800, and really the mile course. Looking down that way, I've gone through with that measuring wheel and measured out all of the different lengths. When I don't have a box jump to use, the bumper of that Jeep is 24.5 inches off the ground, and it actually works pretty well. So I just move the Jeep out of the way, or move the cages out of the way, and that's where my box jumps go. So a lot of improvising in here. I'm trying to think if there's anything we missed. Nope, I don't think so. Anyway, so this is my little 200, just barely under 200 square foot world-class training facility and dryland center. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoy working out in it.